Welcome to the Wonders of World History. In this video, you're going to learn some facts about the scientific revolution. The information comes from a variety of sources that I have on this topic. I just wanted to put all the information in one spot. So, the first thing you're going to write in relates to when the scientific revolution occurred. And if you look at the dates you're writing in versus the dates I gave you on the Renaissance, you'd see that there's overlap between the scientific revolution and the Renaissance. There also was overlap between the scientific revolution and the Reformations that we just studied also. So a lot of what was happening in this time period was a response to inaccuracies of past scientific information that came from the Greeks, Egyptians, and Romans. So scientists in this time period had a sense that things that they had believed weren't correct. They just had to prove what was correct. So the questioning of the Reformation that occurred inspires the scientists to question the old beliefs that everyone had about science.
Get up, stand up for your right. Get up, stand up for your right.
So the scientists were trying to stand up for what they believed in. The next information you're writing in has to do with the scientific method. Now this may be normal science to you because you haven't known anything different, but it didn't always exist, and the scientific method was created during the scientific revolution. So the idea was you were going to prove or disprove a hypothesis, you were going to observe and experiment, and this was a change from the past where scientific information came from Aristotle, Ptolemy, and the Bible. I recommend circling Aristotle in the Bible, like I have circled on the slide, and these were the old authorities of scientific knowledge. If you need to pause the video at any point, you should do that so that you can get all the information that you need. So the scientific method was promoted by two scientists listed, Francis Bacon and René Descartes. So one of their big things was they're challenging the idea that scientific knowledge had to fit in with the Catholic Church's teachings. So maybe science is one thing and the Catholic Church is something separate, that they don't necessarily need to mesh and be similar. So that's an important point that I want to make. At the bottom of page 1, you should write what you had for lunch today, or if it's the morning, what you had for lunch yesterday, and then flip over to page 2. So we're going to start with a belief that was an old belief, an old scientific belief, I should say. So this is a Ptolemy belief. He thought the universe was shaped like an onion and the Earth is in the center. Around the Earth were layers of revolving transparent substances. And in these invisible materials, you would find the sun, moon, planets, and stars. So at this point, Ptolemy believed, and so did the Catholic Church, that motion was unnatural. So motion of the planets was not natural, that it wasn't happening on its own, that angels were pushing the planets and stars. That's why things might appear to move. So Ptolemy was actually the biggest astronomy authority up until the early 500s. So this was a fairly typical view up until the early 500s. So if you look at the bottom of page 2, you're going to see some inventions. All these inventions are relevant in our world today and are important. Obviously, we're using more modern versions of the inventions, but I just wanted to point out that all the inventions on page 2 are still in use today. At the bottom of page 2, you should write what month you were born in. And once that's done, go to page 3. So this next section will be about Galileo and trouble that he faced during the scientific revolution. So one general belief of the Catholic Church was that If people started attacking the geocentric theory, which the church believed, then people might start to doubt other teachings of the Catholic Church. So they were worried that this would lead to other questioning if the geocentric theory was attacked. And geo comes from the Greek word for earth. Anyway, 1616, Galileo was warned by the church not to teach Copernicus's heliocentric theory, because this went against what the church believed, that it was a geocentric universe with the earth at the center. So Galileo published a book, and in the book you had a conversation between Ptolemy and Copernicus. The character who believes in the geocentric theory was portrayed as foolish, while the character who believes in the heliocentric theory in the book is portrayed as logical. So this book got him in trouble with the church. He was called before the Inquisition and charged with heresy, which are teachings that go against the church, because he's promoting the heliocentric theory, which goes against the geocentric opinion of the church. So Galileo's book was actually really influential for other European scientists. It convinced them to believe the heliocentric theory. And the church, however, was not a big fan of Galileo's book. The Inquisition ordered that it be burned. I just realized I forgot 2 songs, so I'm going to go back to this slide and play you a song related to Galileo causing trouble with the church. Okay, and then the other song I have goes with the burning of Galileo's book. It would be better if this was a live presentation, because I can do the animations and make the book disappear, but we're going to have to just settle for what we can do. Hold on. Now, before you put down your pencil at the bottom of page 3, I want you to write your middle name. So this has been a video about the scientific revolution, at least some facts related to the scientific revolution, and I'll catch you on the flip side. Peace.